Hey, it's Mo Egger. If you and your buddies are looking for a place to watch the playoffs, how about Long Neck Sports Grill? 3 locations in Northern Kentucky, Wilder, Hebron, and Richwood. There are 4K TVs all over the place, and at Long Necks, the sound is on for every big game. No place has a better beer selection, and I'm telling you, if you haven't tried Long Neck's wings, you're missing out. What are you waiting for? Swing by Long Neck Sports Grill to watch the playoffs. Long Neck Sports Grill. Stay late, come often. We do this usually on Wednesdays, but we had to slide it back a day because of my schedule. We chat injuries. We talk injuries with one of the experts from Ortho Cincy, Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. These guys are awesome. Ortho Cincy has specialists and locations all over the tri-state. They offer walk-in orthopedic urgent care at 5 tri-state locations, and they have extended evening and weekend hours in Edgewood and Anderson. I took my daughter to the Anderson location back in October when she broke her foot. They were awesome. Learn more at orthocincy.com. That's orthocincy.com. Dr. Brandon Kohrs from Ortho Cincy is with us. Let's start by talking about somebody who we're all rooting for, and I think we're all rooting for obvious reasons. We're Reds fans, and this team is better with him, but also he's had such a hard go of it with injuries, and he's such a good guy, TJ Antone. So he comes back from his second Tommy John surgery last season. He pitches, and then he leaves a game, and he's placed on the 15-day injured list with tendinitis. So he came back from Tommy John surgery, and then again, tendinitis. And so let's start with that. How severe is an injury like this?
So tendinitis, I mean, and this is looked at differently with TJ, right? So he had the UCL, Tommy John type surgery, and he's had it twice. And he did have a bit of a setback with his tendinitis. I think this is probably either irritation of his flexor tendons, which is on the inside of his elbow, or he, irritated either the muscle itself or the tendons that are close to the elbow, which is actually, pretty close to where he would have had that Tommy John surgery. So everything's still kind of recovering. Everything's still inflamed. This is not, out of the ordinary, I would say, with regards to recovery from Tommy John's, and just kind of not an expected setback, but not unexpected either. So I think with that, they rehab it. They do some more therapy. They consider platelet-rich plasma, PRP type injections. And, with that, plus rest, rehab, hopefully get him ready to roll starting yesterday.
Yeah. Do you express concern that he'll be able to start the season on time at all?
Yeah, you hope so. And you look at, with a revision Tommy John surgery, I mean, the return to play on that is, typically, I mean, you're almost looking at 2 years for a revision. So it's actually longer than a primary. And, it takes these guys a long time to get back. I mean, I think you look at the studies and the data, I mean, there's, around 40-50% of pitchers get back to, pitching multiple seasons after that in the Major League Baseball. So, I think we just give him time. And obviously, I think the Reds believe in him. They re-signed him again. And I think, he's a tough guy, and he's been through it before. He's been through it multiple times. He's a heck of a pitcher. So I think, we kind of continue to ease him back into things. He's going to be able to get back out there and hopefully pitch at a high level. It's just, let's give him time and be patient.
We are not going to see Raver San Martin to start the season, but the hope is that at some point in 2024, he's going to be able to pitch. He had a weird year last year because he exits a relief outing. He's diagnosed after experiencing some elbow soreness with a stress reaction, and then ultimately 2 months later has Tommy John surgery, which I hate to frame it this way, almost seems routine with the frequency with which we talk about it. Walk me through how we go from stress reaction to the sort of injury that's going to require Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, so I think with San Martin, it's all kind of the same progression of injury. So he, it's all over the same inside of the elbow type situation where you have with a lot of these players where, they have flexor strains where the flexor tendon is attached to the inside of the elbow, your ulnar collateral ligament, which is your, quote, Tommy John ligament, attaches to the inside of the elbow, and then all of that attaches over a very small area, so you can get stress over that bone right there where all of those ligaments, tendons attach. So I anticipate, without personally reviewing his MRI, that he probably had some irritation to the bone right there where that attaches, that continues, and either that gets worse, either he has another injury where, that results in a tear, or it's just kind of, a chronic overuse type situation where years and years of throwing really hard puts a lot of stress on that ligament, and ultimately, they feel the best thing to do is repair that.
Should we feel
reconstruct it, I should say.
Sure. Should we feel optimistic that he's going to be able to pitch this year?
You look at the typical return to play for Tommy Johns for Major League Baseball players. I mean, you're looking at, over a year, probably somewhere between 14 to 18 months or so as a typical recovery for that. And so, that puts him, he had the surgery July 7th. It puts you a year is, another July, maybe August, September. I mean, I think it could be, all-star break into the year before he gets back out there, if we're able to do that.
Kind of a wasted season for Nick Lodolo last season. Made just a handful of starts, dealt with a left tibia stress fracture and stress reaction, and he's tried to come back. He pitched in the minor leagues, and they shut him down with pain in that left tibia. Nick is expressing that he's good to go and should be fine for this year. Should we worry about anything lingering from an injury that was very frustrating for him and the team last season?
I don't anticipate any long-term setbacks with this as long as we get things to heal. You look at stress fracture, stress reaction, just really an overuse injury to the bone and his tibia, and I think you give that enough rest and, time for recovery. I anticipate he should be back full go and hopefully pitching at a very high level.
Dr. Brandon Kohrs from Ortho Cincy. All right, two more. Graham Ashcraft, stress reaction. We've used that phrase a lot. Stress reaction, right big toe, placed on the injured list in September. This shouldn't be, tell me if I'm wrong, the sort of thing that causes any issues for him this year, right?
I don't anticipate, you look at this injury to his toe, it's almost a similar type, mechanism or injury to what you hear somebody getting a turf toe. Only fortunately, it was an irritation of the bone where all those ligaments, tendons, capsules attach. And so actually kind of a better case scenario, I always bring up a turf toe that it's what ended, part of the reason why it ended Mean Joe Green's career for football. And I think it's better to have that kind of stress reaction, overuse irritation, and that's something you give it enough time, should be able to make a full recovery and should again be pitching well.
All right, one more. Matt McClain, awesome rookie season, cut short late August with a right oblique strain, a grade 2 right oblique strain. Tried to come back, played a minor league game, re-aggravated the injury. It feels like it just, I'm painting with a broad brush here. There's never a smooth comeback from an oblique strain. Should this be the sort of thing that we pay attention to at all as 2024 gets underway?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a risk of re-aggravation, re-irritation. I think, honestly, and you listen to some of his interviews and the staff interviews, I think it was a little, maybe unrealistic to try to, everybody was trying to get him back as soon as possible. I mean, I think that, he wanted to try to come back. They were trying to get him back for the push for the playoffs. But I just think he probably needed more time, more rest, which ultimately was why they decided to shut him down and get him better. But I think with proper stretching, proper rehab, he should be out there playing at a high level as well. Obviously the obliques are very important for swinging a bat, for throwing hard as well. But I think, we got a great team in place from a rehab standpoint, and I anticipate he should be able to get back out there as well. But obviously, once you start hurting your obliques, there's always a risk. But I think with the amount of time he was able to recover, we should see him playing well this season. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, you and me both. Awesome insight as always. I'm sure we'll chat during the season, man. Thanks so much.
Sounds good. Go Reds.
Yeah, there you go. My sentiments exactly. Dr. Brandon Kohrs from OrthoCincy.com. I say this every single week. The awesome thing about OrthoCincy is they've got specialists and locations all over the tri-state. This includes walk-in orthopedic urgent care during the week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at both Edgewood and Anderson. You don't need an appointment, so it's easy and it's cheaper than going to an ER when you have an urgent orthopedic injury. Go to OrthoCincy.com. That's OrthoCincy.com. Got all choked up. Hey, it's Mo Egger. If you and your buddies are looking for a place to watch the playoffs, how about Long Neck Sports Grill? 3 locations in Northern Kentucky, Wilder, Hebron, and Richwood. There are 4K TVs all over the place, and at Long Necks, the sound is on for every big game. No place has a better beer selection, and I'm telling you, if you haven't tried Long Neck's wings, you're missing out. What are you waiting for? Swing by Long Neck Sports Grill to watch the playoffs. Long Neck Sports Grill. Stay late. Come often.